Alright, usually I don't make videos like this, but this build is so insane, and I haven't seen anyone else talk about it, so I gotta share this. The amount of raw damage Vex can output this combination of exotics, mods, and new solar subclass fragments is simply ridiculous. I'm talking constant restoration times 2, making you practically unkillable, and near never-ending radiant buff, giving you more damage at all times for all your guns. Oh, and also the seasonal mod that gives Vex huge solar ignitions after precision kills. Now, I want to go over the essential things you'll need for this build, first of which obviously being Vex Mythoclast. You're also going to need the brand new exotic Warlock Boots Rain of Fire. Next, you'll need the seasonal mod Rays of Precision, and you'll also need the Healing Grenade and a few of the new solar fragments unlocked, and I'll go into more detail on that in 1 second. But lastly, you'll want certain elemental well mods like Well of Life and Elemental Time Dilation. Alright, first let's take a look at our subclass here. Super, class ability, and melee ability is totally up to you, but the grenade must be the healing grenade. This is how we're going to apply restoration to ourselves. For the aspects, you're going to want to be using Touch of Flame. This will make our healing grenade give us restoration times 2, which is insanely strong. You'll also want to use Icarus Dash because it has the added functionality of fully reloading your weapon when dashing thanks to our exotic boots. And for the fragments, you're going to want Ember of Blistering, Ember of Eruption, Ember of Solace, and finally the most important fragment, Ember of Empyrean. This right here is how we're going to be able to keep that restoration and the radiant buff indefinitely. When it comes to stats, I mainly focused on discipline so that I would never have to worry about running out of restoration and not having a grenade ready to reapply it. But another stat I recommend targeting that will greatly increase your survivability is resilience. The stat recently got a buff and it now provides a massive 40% damage resistance at tier 10. And that's equivalent to pre-nerf protective light, by the way, and it's always active, so you don't have to worry about picking up an orb to activate it or something. For your helmet, though, you're going to want Solar Affinity with the Elemental Well mod Well of Life. This mod gives you additional healing when collecting solar wells, but honestly, this health regen pales in comparison to Restoration times 2, so you could just as easily replace this with another solar well mod like Bountiful Wells or Well of Ordnance. But you're also going to want Harmonic Siphon so that Vex can generate orbs. For your gauntlets, you're going to want a Stasis Affinity so that you can use Elemental Time Dilation, which gives you a few extra seconds to the bonuses that the wells will give you when collected. You're also going to want Grenade Kickstart just for that little reduction in grenade cooldown. Also, I have Fusion Rifle Loader here, but you could argue this mod isn't even necessary since you can instantly reload Vex simply by Icarus dashing, but I'll leave that decision to you. For your chest armor, you're going to need Elemental Armaments so our Vex can generate solar wells simply by killing enemies. I also have the seasonal mod Armor of the Dying Star to give me some resistance against void and solar damage. Now this is the exotic we will be using, Rain of Fire. This exotic will grant us the radiant damage buff for all of our weapons every time we get a single kill with Vex Mythoclast. Also, as I've stated earlier, this exotic is what allows us to instantly reload when Icarus dashing. The elemental affinity of this exotic doesn't really matter since we'll be using Font of Might in the last slot to give us even more damage with Vex and our other solar weapons when picking up solar wells. I also have Invigoration on here, but it's really not necessary. The other mod slots are totally up to you. Now for the class item, I have Arc Affinity so I can use Seeking Wells because I personally don't like having to chase and search for the elemental wells, but if doing that doesn't bother you, you can use whatever other mods you think would work well here. The mod we really want to look at here is the seasonal mod called Rays of Precision. This is what will allow us to have those huge solar ignitions after precision kills. Kills with these ignitions also feed us grenade energy because of the aspect Ember of Blistering that I mentioned earlier. Now when it comes to the class item, there's actually a few things you can do here, and I'll go over those right now. If you don't care for the solar ignitions, you can trade Rays of Precision for Classy Restoration, and switch out Ember of Blistering and Ember of Eruption for any other solar fragments. Classy Restoration allows you to give yourself Restoration times 2 simply by using your class ability, which means you're no longer forced to use the Healing Grenade. Additionally, you can switch out Rays of Precision for Solar Harvesting, which will give you the ability to spawn solar elemental wells after every single kill with Vex, a much higher spawn rate than elemental armaments. This also means you no longer have to use elemental armaments, which frees up a slot for yet another elemental well mod of your choosing. You can also add the mod Solar Fulmination alongside Rays of Precision to give you even bigger solar ignitions on Vex Precision kills. And that is everything. Simply put, this build turns Vex Mythoclast into an absolute monster while simultaneously granting you superior health regeneration and resistance to the point where you're basically invulnerable. So I'll leave you all with some gameplay footage of this build so you can truly decide whether or not you want to spec into it. And if you do like it, let me know. I'd love to see feedback on this build, so if you have any ideas of what to add or change, leave a comment. Thanks for watching.
Survived are some tough sons. Important target, Guardian. Kill or be killed. Round one. Kill them dead, Guardian. They are dead. You are not. Round two. Dismantle mines, yes. Or you die. Victory well earned. You face final round. A mighty cabal challenge